So now what we do is we are starting from this point and ending here, and we are going to draw this arc. Then the second arc is going to start from here and end here. So we know the only ends of the arc, and what we have just now learned is if you know the ends of the arcs, then from the ends you have to draw the actual perpendiculars. So if this is the end, from this end you draw a perpendicular line, and from this end to this line you draw this perpendicular line. So that will give you the center of the smaller arc. And once you get the center, you can draw this arc. Now for this arc, this is one end, so you draw perpendicular, which is already drawn, and this is the other end, and this is the vertical line of the rhombus. So from here, you draw another, it will pass from this point. So you draw another straight line, like this. So once you draw such lines, from the ends of the arcs, perpendicular lines, they will meet at a point which is going to be your center. So from this center and this radius, you will be able to draw the larger arc. So these two arcs we are drawn without drawing the complete rhombus, only half rhombus we are drawn, and we have completed the half circle in isometric. So that is how we draw this figure. So this was the exercise and this is the answer. Now let's take the next figure. Now in this figure again there is answer already there. This is the question. So again you can see how the figure is given. The figure is given like this. So here there is a semicircular cutout. And in fact this line is definitely not there. There is a full cutout, but this line they are drawn as a wrong line. Dotted line not there. So this is how it is on the right side. On the left side this is the shape. It is straight up to here, then it is inclined, and at the same time there is a cutout like this, and this cutout is now opening on the inclined surface. So this could be something similar to what we had done last time. Now how do we examine? See, remember, however complex the whole object is, what we are going to do is we are just splitting the object into parts. So you can think of only this much object. So you just ignore all the rest of the thing on this side. On this side what is there you just ignore and concentrate only on this part and examine how it could be. Then you concentrate on this part. Then you concentrate on this part. So like that you have to examine the object part by part in the vertical line, because this is not related to this. This is related to what is there exactly behind. So everything is related to what is there in the same line, not on the other side. So just split the object into vertical parts and examine. So if you examine this part, it is very easy. As you see here, it is straight and then it is cut out, and then there is a cutout also here. So you can think that initially it was a block like this, no cutout and no hole also. So it is a simple solid box. Then to this box there is a cut like this, and then there is one more cut like this. So this could be drawn this way. So let us now refer what is already drawn. So you can see here, as per the given dimensions, this box you can draw as per the given dimensions. Okay, not here it is. This end to end side will come here, like this. So we have drawn the box initially, and after that, according to whatever dimensions are given, so you can see here, vertical it is 9, and horizontal the cutout is at a distance of 12, or maybe 17. There is some mistake here. It is written 12 here and 17 here. So maybe say this is wrong. So it is 17. So 9 by 17, suppose it is the distance. Then what we do is, from here to here you take 9, and from here to here you take 17. So once you look at these points 9 and 17, you can draw this line and get the inclined surface. Now once you get the inclined surface, this line is there with you, and here also that line is there. So if you go back to the earlier figure here, then in this figure you will come to know that there is a rectangular cutout here, and this cutout has certain distance. Now what could be the figure is, now this 12 must be for this, and this full thing is 17, this is 12, so 12 and 17 it could be like this. So at a distance of 12 there is a cutout, and what cutout you can get is, you can measure the distance from here to here. This distance you can measure on the inclined surface, and that can be now marked. So you can see that here, this inclined distance, I call it as x. Then this x distance is marked. This is the x distance. So this x distance we have marked here like this. And once you mark it, we draw this line. And after we draw this line, again we go back and measure the distance which is present here. In fact, the figures are mixed, so there could be some confusion. I'll take you there. So you can see here 22 and 10. So whatever is this distance is there. This distance you can pick up from the actual figure, and then it is taken here. So that distance we now take on this side and draw this line vertical where it touches this line coming from 9, and once you get this point, then you draw the inclined line, so that this cutout you will be able to realize its shape. So you have to make use of some imagination and some common sense. So combination of all these things together, it will give you the necessary result. So having done all that, then what is left is the lines which are, I'll just erase all this. So after you draw everything, what is left is this vertical line and this line. Because you know there is a surface here, that surface you have to show. So just don't leave it like this. From this corner you draw one vertical line, and from this corner you have to draw one line at this 30-degree isometric line to represent this surface. And you know, now this corner is not seen, but suppose this corner is seen and there is some more space, then maybe you will have to draw such kind of line also for this surface. Right now it is not seen, so it is not drawn. So that and actually you have to draw if it is required. Okay, so now we completed this left side part. Now on the right side part, what you have to do is, see this rest of the shape you can draw. You can draw this shape, everything you can draw. But you have to now draw the semicircle. Now how do we draw this semicircle? That I will explain. Now for drawing semicircle, you know from where to where the semicircle will come. So you can draw first this rhombus. This half rhombus you can easily draw because that is required. This half rhombus is required, which we have drawn. And then in this half rhombus, we know that there is a arc. One small arc will come here and larger arc is going to come here. But right now we don't know where is the arc, only we know the end points of the arc. These are the end points of the small arc, and these are the end points of the larger arc. So with these 2 points, we learn how to draw the arc. So for that, what we do is, first we have learned, from this end we draw a perpendicular, and from this end we draw another perpendicular. Now these perpendiculars are drawn to the actual line, and that gives you the center like this. Now once you get the center, you get the radius also, and you draw this arc. Now the second arc is having one point here, other point here. So from this point you draw perpendicular to this line, which is already there. And from this point to this line, you draw another perpendicular and you get the intersection. So with this center and this radius, you draw the other arc. So I'll just show here C1 and C2. They are the two centers of the two arcs. And we have drawn one arc and on this surface. Now remember that there is similar arc present on the back surface also here. Right? So for that you have to repeat these two arcs behind. Out of that, this first arc has got center C2 here. So this C2 you have to shift back. So I'll shift this C2 back here, and the distance is whatever is the width from here to here. So this and this is same. So at that much distance you have shifted the center back, and from that center we have drawn this arc. If required, if this part of the arc is seen, you would have drawn that also, but now that is not seen. So we have drawn just this kind of arc here, and we have finished the work. So now this becomes the final figure, which you can have a look. I'll just erase the construction. Now you don't have to erase the construction. When you draw this figure, the construction what I have just now shown you, similar construction you will also make, and that construction you have to retain. You don't have to erase. Only thing is you draw that construction as a light lines, so that those lines are visible for the examination purpose, and your final object as it is shown here will be very dark. Center lines are also there, but as you can see here, they are medium lines. So this is how the figure will come for the given exercise. The question was like this and the answer is like this. Now in this case, normally we never draw question, but in this case you have to draw the question only to this much extent, this much part, because you need to measure this distance. We have used this distance. So from where you will get this distance? You will get this distance by this orthographic figure. So only this part of the orthographic figure you need to draw to the extent you should get this length. Once you get this length, the rest of the things you need not draw. So only for getting this length, you have to draw this part of the figure. Even that is applicable to the earlier figure also. So if I take you there, for this figure also, this for drawing this isometric, this orthographic figure you will have to draw, because you want to draw this line, and once you draw this line, then you will get this distance and this distance. Remember, it is not 23. 23 is vertical distance. We need this inclined distance. So you have to draw this line, which you draw, and then you make use of this distance in this figure that was explained earlier. So in this case, questions are required to be drawn only where required, not everywhere. Wherever required, and only how much it is required, that only you have to draw. The rest of the things you need not draw. So I explained to you this problem and the second problem and the third problem. So these are the problems which we have discussed, and you will be able to draw now the figures similar to this. Now I will be giving you assignments. Those assignments will be different figures than these three. These three you have to just study, and I will give you different figures for the assignment purpose, okay, which you will see on the Google Classroom. So we stop here for today's session.